Power is quiet. That's the line most people miss. Not the shouting, not the long essays. Power is the moment you stop chasing and the silence starts doing the talking. My friends, that's when the story changes. Here's the hook. They'll act unbothered, but the mind always leaves footprints. Hey folks, imagine this. You're a lighthouse on a cliff in a storm. You don't run after ships. You don't beg the sea to calm down. You just stand, steady, bright, unshakable. Ships find you or they don't, but your light never apologizes. That's you when you stop explaining your worth and start living it. Or picture a bank vault. Not cold, just secure. Not cruel, just clear. Access is earned, not claimed. For a long time, you gave out keys like candy. But today, the door hums shut with calm authority. No drama, only policy. That's the new you. We've been fed a lie, my friends, that the loudest person wins, that the longest text gets understood, that if you just try harder, they'll finally value what they kept dismissing. Epictetus warned us, we suffer more in imagination than in reality. You suffered from the story in your head, the one that said love equals proof, chasing equals care, attention equals value. Here's the eye-opener. Value does not argue. Value does not plead. Value does not bargain its own price. Value sets the price and lives by it. There's also this quiet truth from Marcus Aurelius. You always own the option of having no opinion. That's not apathy, that's mastery. It means you don't need to comment on their show, clap for their performance, or explain your exit. Silence doesn't mean you're weak. Silence means you're done feeding fires that only burn you. And a little fun reality check. If someone has to post 3 times a day about how free they are they? Folks, sometimes the loud, "I'm fine," is just the emotional duct tape holding the mask together. Think of your energy like a premium phone battery. You used to give it to every app. Notifications, pings, late night you up, drain, drain, drain. Now you're on power-saving mode with a custom list. Training, purpose, brotherhood, peace. That's it. Everything else? Force quit. You're not bitter, you're better at budgets. You've learned the oldest rule in dark psychology and life. Scarcity raises value. When you stop offering unlimited access, people start seeing what was always rare. This is not about revenge, it's about respect. Yours. When they can't pull your strings, the theater closes. When they can't get your reaction, the game ends. When they see you building quietly, body sharper, mind calmer, spirit deeper, the comparison starts, the what-if starts, the regret starts. That's not your job to manage. Your job is to keep walking toward the man you promised yourself you would be. Fewer words, stronger choices, cleaner days. So stay with me. We're going to break the lies, name the signs, and keep your frame steady. You'll laugh a little, you might ache a little, but you will leave stronger than you came. Type this in the comments so it locks in. I rise in silence. And don't forget to press like and subscribe. Let's grow this brotherhood and keep building. Stay with me. Number 1, the intermittent check-in. Probing for access. Silence is a strategy. That's the line they don't expect because they were trained by your old habits. Marcus Aurelius said, "You always own the option of having no opinion." In simple words, you don't owe them a reaction, a paragraph, or a performance. And that's why the first sign of regret arrives like a paper airplane on a battlefield. Light, casual, looks harmless. "Hey, how've you been? Saw this and thought of you." Quick question, do you still use that app? It's not reconnection, it's reconnaissance. They want to know if the door they once strolled through is still unlocked. Picture a chess clock. When you stop chasing, you let your clock go still. No more frantic moves, no more time pressure. They feel the quiet and it bothers them, because the quiet ends a game they were winning, so they nudged the clock. Tap, tap, your move, but the move is no move. The win is calm. Or imagine a locked airport gate. For months your scanner flashed green. Midnight calls, sudden drama, little favors, old jokes, access granted. Now the keypad flashes red, access revoked. What happens next? People rattle the handle and pretend it's a mistake. Oops, wrong door. That soft check-in is a test to see if your boundary is a mood or a policy. Their mind starts racing the moment you don't respond like before. Why aren't you jumping? Who has your attention now? Are you angry or over it? Did you replace them? Are you actually this calm or bluffing? The brain hates uncertainty. Dark psychology names the sting, loss aversion. Losing access hurts more than gaining praise. That pain starts inventing stories to soothe itself. They must be busy. They didn't see it. Maybe I'll send something funnier. Then comes wave 2. Check out this meme. Remember this place? Random, but what was that book? It's not conversation. It's sonar. Are you still in range? Let's break the lie. Kind people always respond. Number. Mature people respond to purpose. Your peace is not a public hotline. Epictetus warned, we suffer more in imagination than in reality. For years, your imagination said, if I don't reply, they'll think I'm rude. If I don't help, they'll say I changed. My friends, you weren't rude, you were reachable. There's a difference. Being reachable to the wrong energy is how good people burn out. Stoicism isn't cold, it's clear. Boundaries aren't punishments. They're policies that protect the best of you for the best things in your life. Why is this first sign so hard to handle? Because it feels small. It's just a hello. But the first snowflake becomes an avalanche when you're standing under a slope. Intermittent reinforcement is the cruelest teacher in human behavior. Reward something randomly and it never dies. Reply once with warmth and the pattern resurrects. You're back in the loop, checking a phone that checks you back. This is where you become more thermostat than thermometer. A thermometer changes with the room. A thermostat sets the room. The text arrives. You don't heat up or cool down. You hold your setting. Quiet, neutral, disciplined. Another picture. You're a world-class restaurant that moved to reservations only. Walk-ins can wave through the window. The kitchen doesn't sprint to the door. Your food is still world-class, your service still kind, but there's a standard now, not because you're better than people, but because you're better than your old chaos. Standards hurt those who benefited from your lack of them. That hurt shows up as the harmless check-in. I know the doubts. What if it's sincere? What if they're trying? What if I'm too harsh? Fair questions. That's why we use a principle, not a mood. The principle is simple. Substance over stimulation. If their message contains real accountability and a clear plan for change, that's the substance. I handled this poorly. I'm sorry. Here's what I'm doing differently. If you're open, I'll respect your pace. That's owning, not fishing. Everything else, nostalgia crumbs, inside jokes, baited questions, random links, is stimulation. It pokes your memory to see if you'll pay with attention. Don't tip with your peace. Seneca said, "He who is brave is free." Bravery here looks boring. You don't match their tempo. You don't chase clarity. You don't perform closure. You let silence be the audit. If you must respond for logistics, keep it brief and clean. Clear answer, no soft edges, no memory lane. If you don't need to respond, you don't. Not to punish. To protect the conditions that grew you. Think of your energy as a premium battery. You used to run every app, notifications, pings, midnight spirals, drain, drain, drain. Now it's power save mode with a custom list: training, purpose, craft, brotherhood, sleep, peace. Everything else, force quit. And a little fun truth: if someone has to post 3 times a day about how gloriously unbothered they are they? Sometimes the loud "I'm fine" is just emotional duct tape holding the mask together. Your silence isn't a weapon, it's a mirror. Without your reactions, they face themselves. Without access, they meet the bill. The check-in is the first knock from regret. Is anyone still there? The answer is your life moving forward. Stay with me. Next, we'll expose how digital micro-pings, story views, old likes, timing games pretend to be nothing while saying everything. For now, lock this in and write it in the comments so it sticks. I protect my peace. Show them, show yourself, show the world by how calmly you keep the door closed until substance shows up with respect. Number 2, social micro-pings, stories, likes, timing. Silence breeds speculation. That's the pressure they can't handle, so they start tapping on the glass without stepping through the door. My friends, this is where regret pretends to be nothing. A late-night story view that pops up first in your list, like in a photo from months ago, a sudden follow to your gym, your book list, your favorite cafe. It's not conversation, it's contact without courage. Picture a pebble skipping across a lake at sunset. Each skip is tiny, quiet, and almost cute, but the ripples travel far. That's a micro-ping. Not enough to face you directly, just enough to pull your attention back toward them. Did they see what I watched? Did they notice the old like? Will they read my quote and know it's about them? This is how people talk when they're not ready to speak. Imagine your life is a clean, minimalist gallery. You curated it. Clear walls, strong frames, purpose in the lighting. Micro-pings are fingerprints on the glass, smudges that say, "I was here," but never own the visit. One print at midnight, one in the morning, one after your new post. Nothing big, nothing loud, just enough to fog your focus and invite you to write the rest of the story for them. That's the trap. You start wondering, why are they first to watch? Why like that old picture? Why repeat my caption in their story? Are they missing me? Are they competing? Are they proud? Are they angry? And here comes the fear. What if I'm reading too much into it? What if I'm cold if I ignore it? What if this is their way of trying? The mind spins because the signal is fuzzy by design. They get to lurk. You do the labor. Let's break the lie. If they're watching, they care. No, if they're watching, they're watching. Care without courage is just entertainment. Epictetus said, "First say to yourself what you would be, and then do what you have to do." If they won't step into direct, accountable speech, they are choosing pings over principles. Your worth is not a scavenger hunt. Your peace is not a prize they get by breadcrumbing in public and hiding in private. Loss aversion kicks them into these small moves, cheap hits of certainty. They'll see I'm around. They'll DM me first. I can say it was nothing if it backfires. That's the micro-ping economy, maximum ambiguity, minimum responsibility. Why is this one so difficult to handle? Because it flatters the ego while starving the soul. Seeing their name at the top of your views feels like a pat on the back. They still notice. The old like whispers, "You still matter." The timing tricks, posting right after you, copying your routine, make you feel seen. But there's a difference between being seen and being chosen. Regret often looks like observation. Love looks like ownership. Observation says, "I'm here." Ownership says, "I'm wrong, I'm sorry. Here's what I'll do differently." Micro-pings keep you hovering in a waiting room that never leads to the office. Here's a metaphor you'll remember. Your attention is a door with a motion sensor. In the past, anyone walking by triggered it. Light on, energy out. Micro pings are people pacing in front of your doorway to make your light flicker. Stoicism rewires the sensor to a manual switch. You decide when the light turns on, not their pacing, not their timing, not their sudden bursts of activity when you look strong, happy, or busy. Marcus Aurelius reminds us, you have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength. Your mind is the switch. Keep it in your hand. Questions they're asking in the quiet. Why won't you blink first? Who are you becoming without me? Is someone else seeing this glow? Did I misjudge your worth, or am I watching it rise? And questions you must ask yourself. Does this behavior meet my standard or just my nostalgia? Am I leaning in because I'm flattered or because it's honest? If they wanted a door, why are they tapping windows? Hard truth, folks. Micro pings are calorie-free. Sweet for a moment, no nutrition, leaves you hungry again. So what's the move? You don't clap back with cryptic posts. You don't write captions to send a message. You don't arrange your life around their viewing schedule. You post for process, not provocation. You document your training, your craft, your peace, because it's who you are now, not because it's bait. You become so consistent that their irregular taps can't shake your rhythm. A drummer in a parade does not change tempo because someone on the curb shouts, "Faster!" The band stays in time. That's you. A little fun check. If someone needs 3 indirect quotes a day to prove they're healed, are they healed or doing theatre? The contrast effect is working on them. The more stable you look, the louder the gap feels on their side. That's not your problem to solve. Your job, keep your lane clean, your heartbeat steady, your signal clear. If they ever grow into real courage, it won't arrive like in last summer's photo. It will arrive as honest words, humble tone, concrete change. Until then, let the pings bounce off glass. Stay with me. We're going deeper next. The silence to surge pattern, when their soft taps turn into sudden waves, and how to remain unshaken when the flood comes. For now, lock this in and type it in the comments so it sticks. I post for purpose. Show them at your pace. Show yourself by your peace. Show the world by your results. Number 3. The silence to surge pattern, the extinction burst. What doesn't get a reaction gets louder. That's human nature on display when your silence finally holds. At first, they send nothing or little things, the soft taps we talked about. Then, when the taps don't open any doors, the wave arrives. A flood of messages at odd hours, sudden urgency about nothing urgent, warm nostalgia followed by sharp jabs. It looks random, but it's not. In behavior science, it's called an extinction burst. When an old strategy stops working, the behavior spikes before it dies. In plain talk, your old reactions used to feed their system. Your quiet now starves it. The system panics. Picture a vending machine you used for years. One day you press the button and nothing drops. What do most people do? They don't calmly walk away. They press harder. They shake the machine. They hit other buttons. That's the surge. Or imagine a stage microphone that used to echo your voice back to them every time they stepped to it. You walked off stage. Now they shout into an empty room, and the silence makes them shout again. Louder doesn't mean truer. It just means empty is echoing. This is where the questions start firing in their mind. Why isn't this working anymore? Who taught them to hold the line? Is there someone else? Did I misjudge their strength? Are they really okay without me, or just pretending? And in your mind, different questions try to pull you back into the loop. What if they're finally serious? What if I'm being too rigid? What if ignoring this makes me heartless? My friends, fear loves costume changes. It will dress up as compassion, nostalgia, even duty to get you to break your boundary. Epictetus warned, "We are not disturbed by things, but by the views we take of them." The surge is not a sign of your cruelty. It's a sign that the old reinforcement schedule has ended. Stay with the view that serves your peace. Let's break the lie. Intensity equals sincerity. Number. Intensity equals intensity. People can be passionately wrong, passionately manipulative, or passionately lost. Consistency is the measure of change, not volume. Marcus Aurelius reminds us, if it is not right, do not do it. If it is not true, do not say it. Apply that to both sides. If the surge is heat without truth, volume without ownership, promises without plan, it's theater, not transformation. Why is this phase so hard? Because it hits your nervous system. The flood lights up old pathways, dopamine, cortisol, all of it. Your body remembers the dance and your thumbs want to join. That's why Stoicism isn't just philosophy, it's physiology. Breathe low and slow. Label what you feel. Name the tactic. This is an extinction burst. When you name it, you tame it. You move from being inside the storm to watching it from the shoreline, steady as a lighthouse. You don't chase the boats. You don't scream at the water. You keep the beam. Here's a metaphor you'll keep. You are a doorman at a private club you built called Peace. The surge is a crowd at the rope. Some laughing, some yelling, some crying, some flattering. The rule isn't personal, it's policy. Entry requires a tire called accountability and a reservation named specific plan. If they show up in streetwear called urgency, drama, or guilt, the answer is the same. Not tonight. Not until you meet the dress code and bring the reservation. Policies protect goodness. Moods protect nothing. They think like this because the brain hates losing control. When they could summon you with a ping, they felt significant. Control creates comfort, even if the dynamic was unhealthy. When your boundary collapsed that control, their mind sprinted to reclaim ground. That sprint looks like warmth 1 minute, anger the next, just 5 minutes after that. The randomness is the tell. Healthy repair has a single tone, humble, clear, patient, and prepared to accept a no. So what do you do when the flood hits? First, you decide your window for any response before the surge arrives. Pre-decide your policy in calm, not in chaos. If logistics must be handled, answer once, briefly, with no invitation to wander, a single, neutral message. If there's nothing logistical, you let the wave break on rock. No cryptic counterposts, no "let me educate you" paragraphs, no late-night lectures. Remember Seneca, "He who is brave is free." Bravery here is boring to bystanders. No spectacle, just standards. And if they offer what looks like substance, test it like an adult. What exactly are they owning? What change have they already started without access to you? What boundaries do they now respect without being reminded? What timeline are they willing to accept if the answer is not now or not ever? Real change stands calmly in the light. It doesn't demand you applaud its arrival. A little fun truth to keep you grounded. If someone tells you, "No one will ever care like I did," right after ignoring your needs for months, that's not romance. That's marketing. You're not a product. You're a person with a standard. Standards feel like rejection to people who expected a discount. Let them adjust to reality. Your job is not to soften the edge of their lesson. Your job is to honor the edge that kept you safe. Your growth is a silent metronome. The surge will try to speed you up or slow you down. You stay on tempo, train, read, build, sleep, laugh, pray, lead, repeat. Become so invested in the next version of you that the old loops can't afford your attention anymore. Because here's the secret they don't see yet. Your silence isn't revenge. It's rehab. It sobers you up from a high-conflict cycle and returns your willpower to its rightful owner. Stay with me. Next, we'll expose the indirect route they often take when the flood fails. Third-party phishing through mutuals and accidental updates, and how to guard your circle without becoming bitter. For now, type this in the comments so it locks in. I don't reward surges. Show them by your stillness. Show yourself by your standards. Show the world by your results. Number 4. Third-party phishing, mutuals and accidental updates. Indirect words hide direct motives. That's the game when they stop getting access from you and start reaching through other people. My friends, third-party phishing looks polite on the surface and messy underneath. A mutual suddenly asks how you're doing. A cousin accidentally mentions they bumped into them and you came up. A friend forwards a screenshot you didn't ask for. None of this is random. When doors close, people look for windows. When your boundary holds, they test your circle. Picture a quiet library where you're finally studying your life. No noise, clear notes, strong coffee. Third-party phishing is the person who won't walk to your table but whispers to the librarian, "Can you ask them what page they're on?" It feels harmless, but it breaks the rule of the room. Or imagine your peace as a walled garden you've worked hard to grow. Discipline, sleep, prayer, training, deep work. Instead of knocking on the gate, they toss notes over the hedge for your neighbors to find. Are they home? Are they dating? Do they miss me? These are not questions, they're hooks. Hooks don't care whom they snag. Why do they do it? Because ambiguity protects the ego. Direct asks risk rejection. Indirect routes let them say, "I was just checking on them," if it fails. Loss aversion again. The mind wants certainty cheaply. If a mutual returns with, "He's still hurting," they feel powerful. If the mutual returns with, "He's good and focused," the sting turns to urgency. The point is not your well-being. The point is their comfort. Marcus Aurelius said, "You have power over your mind, not outside events." They are trying to regain power over your emotions by renting space in your relationships. You close that rental office today. Here are the questions that start racing in your head when mutuals carry messages. Am I being rude if I don't give updates? Will I look bitter if I set a boundary with friends? What if saying nothing makes me small? Your fear will put on a nice suit and call itself polite. But politeness without principles is how you keep living other people's stories. Epictetus warned, "If you wish to be a writer, write. In our lane, if you wish to be peaceful, practice peace. Peace requires policies. Policies sound boring, they save lives. Let's break a common lie. If they ask through friends, it means they care. Number. It means they don't want to face your boundary themselves. Care walks to the door, knocks, and accepts the answer. Fishing swims in circles and blames the water. Another lie. Mutuals are neutral. Most people are not neutral, they are channels. Some carry clean water, some carry gossip, some carry their own agenda dressed as help. Your job isn't to judge people harshly. Your job is to set the pressure of your pipes. If the valve is closed, nothing flows without your consent. Why is this stage so difficult? Because it tugs at the community part of you. You love your people. You want to look fair. You don't want to be the cold one. And sometimes the mutual is truly innocent. They didn't know they were being used as a bridge. That's why we give our circle clarity, not drama. Picture yourself as the coach of a team called Peace. You hand out a simple playbook. If they ask about me, tell them I'm good and focused. If they send messages through you, please don't pass them along. I'll reach out directly if I need to. Short, kind, firm. A playbook isn't a fight, it's a plan. Seneca said, "He who is brave is free." Bravery here is telling your friends what helps you heal, not a speech, a sentence. You'll be surprised how many will respect it. And for the few who won't, you've learned something valuable. Some doors were open because you were open. Close the door and you see the truth of the hinges. Let's talk motives on their side. They think like this: if I hear he's struggling, I can feel needed. If I hear he's thriving, I can feel competitive. If I hear he's dating, I can feel urgent. Third-party fishing gives them a buffet of emotions without the bill, but real growth pays the bill. Real growth says, if I have something to say, I'll say it to you, and I'll hear no if that's your boundary. Anything less is theater. A little fun check to keep you smiling. Notice how updates about you seem to find you on the worst days. That's not fate. That's the chaos algorithm of gossip. It travels fastest when you're tired. So we make a simple rule: no processing news about them after 8 p.m. No responding to triangulated messages when you're low on sleep. No big decisions when your battery is red. You're not a robot. You're a steward. Stewardship is stoic. Stewardship says, I decide what crosses my mind's border. What do you do when a friend shows you a screenshot? You treat it like a spark near dry wood. You don't fan it. You don't stomp it with drama. You cover it with calm. Hey, thanks for thinking of me. Please don't forward their stuff. If they need me, they can message me directly. I'm keeping my space clean. Then you go back to your reps: gym, craft, purpose, peace. You are training your circle to respect your new weather. If they keep bringing umbrellas into your sunshine, it's okay to ask them to leave them at the door or step outside. And what if the mutual says they miss you? Missing is not a plan. Missing is a feeling. In this new season, feelings are welcome. Only plans get access. If they ever come correct, it won't be through a cousin's cousin or a happened to see them in the grocery store. It will be direct, responsible, and ready to hear no. Until then, you let the river run around your garden wall. You're not blocking life, you're protecting growth. Remember, your life has become a museum of the man you are building. Curators decide what goes on the wall, security decides what stays out, public walks through, private remains in the vault. You can be warm at the door and strong at the threshold. That balance is the art. That balance is freedom. Stay with me. Next, we'll expose competitive mirroring, when they start copying your growth to erase their regret, and how to keep evolving without letting comparison steer your ship. For now, lock this in and type it in the comments so it sticks. I guard my circle. Show them by your clarity. Show yourself by your quiet. Show the world by your results. Number 5, competitive mirroring, copying your growth. Imitation isn't admiration, it's anxiety in costume. That's the pulse beneath this sign. When your silence holds and your habits harden, they don't just watch, they start copying. New gym check-ins right after yours. The same book you posted last week suddenly appeared in their story. Your morning routine becomes their morning routine. It looks flattering, it feels familiar, it's actually comparative panic. Marcus Aurelius said, waste no more time arguing what a good man should be. Be one you started being. They started broadcasting, that's the split. Picture this, you're laying train tracks in the quiet before sunrise, mile by mile, bolt by bolt. No audience, just the rhythm of work. One morning you look up and see a second track running parallel, hastily thrown down, loud, shiny, full of selfies. That's competitive mirroring. It's not a journey, it's a performance designed to catch your peripheral vision. Or think of a storefront. You turned your life from a flea market into a boutique. Clean lines, clear standards, premium focus. The day after you raised your prices, someone across the street hung the same sign with cardboard and tape. From a distance, it looks similar. Up close, you see the seams. Why do they do it? Because comparison is the birthbed of regret. Dark psychology names the mechanism the contrast effect. Your steadiness throws their chaos into relief. Your discipline makes their drift louder. When people can't lower your light, they try to match your brightness on credit. It's a temporary loan of identity. Epictetus warned, "First say to yourself what you would be, and then do what you have to do." Mirroring skips the first part. They don't ask, "Who am I becoming?" They ask, "How do I look like them quickly enough to calm the sting?" This is where your mind tries to play old games. You'll ask yourself, is this growth or theatre? Are they genuinely changing or just trying to outpace the mirror? What if this is their way of saying sorry? And a quieter fear, if they can become my kind of disciplined, does that mean I matter again? My friends, let's break the lie. Similarity means sincerity. Number. Consistency means sincerity. Anyone can repeat your playlist. Not everyone can carry your purpose. The proof of change isn't synchronized hobbies, it's sustained humility. Seneca said, "He who is brave is free." Brave change is quiet, patient, and prepared to be unseen. Mirroring is needy, noisy, and obsessed with being seen by you. Why is this stage hard? Because it flatters the ego while poking the heart. It whispers, "They finally get it." It dangles a shortcut to closure. Look, they're doing the work. But mirroring isn't the work. Mirroring is the costume the work wears when it wants applause before effort. Remember the vending machine truth from earlier. When the old reaction stops dispensing, behavior spikes. Competitive mirroring is just a fancier spike. If the cost of their change is your attention, it's not change, it's currency. Here's a metaphor you'll keep. You're a mountain. Weather copies nothing, it just is. Climbers may dress like the mountain, grey jackets, rocky captions, gritty reels, but the mountain doesn't bow. It measures them by altitude, not outfits. When someone copies your climb, you don't climb down to confirm it. You breathe thinner air and keep moving up. Or this, your values are a password. Mirroring guesses the shape of the letters but never types the right sequence. Discipline, delay, honesty, accountability. Without the sequence, the door stays shut. Questions racing in their mind while they mirror. Is this enough to pull your eyes back? Can they still influence your pace? If they outgrow you online, will you chase? Can they erase the story of losing you by outperforming your new identity? It's a strange alchemy, regret mixing with pride. Pride hates to lose. Regret hates the quiet. Mirroring tries to soothe both by staging progress, but staged progress cannot carry real weight. The first steep hill breaks it. So what's the Stoic move? You keep your lane ceremonial and your scoreboard private. Post for process, not provocation. If your training doubles, nobody needs to know except your lungs and your calendar. If your diet cleans up, your sleep and your mornings will tell the story. If your circle tightens, your peace will be the evidence. You are not in their story. You are in your season. Marcus again, you have power over your mind, not outside events. Translate, you don't change tempo because someone is shadowboxing beside you. Let's get practical. If their mirroring crosses into your space, comment threads baiting you, DMs flaunting progress, public digs disguised as growth, respond with policy, not passion. Wishing you well on your journey. Period. No coaching, no critique, no comparison. You are not the referee of their redemption. You are the guard of your gate. If a mutual brings you their highlight reel, smile and let it pass. Good for them. Then switch tabs back to your reps: study, sweat, service, sleep. The 4 S's beat the 3 C's of chaos, clout, clips and competition every day of the week. And a little fun truth to keep you light. If someone copies your caption word for word and claims divine alignment, it's not fate, it's plagiarism with incense. Let it incense no one, least of all you. The mountain doesn't file complaints, it keeps being a mountain. Here's the heart of it. Your transformation wasn't a flex, it was a fix. You didn't rebuild to prove a point, you rebuilt to keep your soul. Mirroring tries to turn your recovery into a race. Refuse the starting gun. You win by refusing to run laps in their stadium ever again. Winning here is boring from the outside and blazing on the inside. Meals prepped, mind trained, phone quiet, standards steady, laughter honest. You go to bed proud, not loud. Stay with me. The next sign is sneakier and smaller on the surface. Boundary tests disguised as quick favors and loose ends, tiny hooks designed to reopen the hallway you just locked. Learn this and you won't get pulled back by politeness. For now, lock it in and type it in the comments so it sticks. I grow from purpose. Show them at your pace. Show yourself by your peace. Show the world by your results. Number 6. Boundary tests, loose ends, and quick favors. Small hooks catch big fish. That's the move when direct access is gone and they try the side door. My friends, boundary tests rarely arrive with horns and fireworks. They show up wearing politeness. Hey, quick favor. Can you send me that login? I left a jacket at your place. 2 minutes, I promise. On the surface, it's tiny and reasonable. Underneath, it's a probe. They're not just asking for a thing, they're asking if your no contact is a mood or a policy. Picture your peace as a freshly mopped floor. Boundary tests are those just one-step footprints that appear before it dries. I'll be quick. Yes, and now the whole floor needs cleaning again. Or imagine your life as a museum you're curating with care. The quick favor is a tourist who slips past the velvet rope to take a selfie in a closed gallery. It'll only take a second. That second disrespects the room, the rope, and the work you put in to protect it. Why do they do it? Loss aversion and control. They don't want the finality of a closed door, so they rattle small handles, items left behind, shared passwords, bills, playlists, a birthday reminder, a mutual dog sitter number. Each request tests one thing. Will you bend? If you bend, the story they tell themselves is simple. Access can be regained not by accountability, but by convenience. That keeps them comfortable and keeps you stuck. Your mind will start its own negotiation. It's harmless. It's just logistics. I don't want to look petty. What if saying no makes me the bad guy? Marcus Aurelius said, "If it is not right, do not do it. If it is not true, do not say it." Translate it here. If it doesn't support your healing, don't do it. If it isn't necessary, don't say yes. Kindness without clarity becomes a doorway for chaos. Stoicism isn't cold, it's clean. Let's break the lie. Good people always help. Number. Good people help where help belongs. You can be generous and still have gates. Epictetus taught, first say to yourself what you would be, and then do what you have to do. If you would be peaceful, you must do what peace requires. Policies, not impulses. A policy is boring to drama and beautiful to discipline. I only discuss logistics via text during daytime hours. Personal items are picked up via porch drop, Saturday 10 to 12. Passwords were changed. Here's the customer support link. Short, neutral, final. You honor the task without reopening the hallway. Why is this stage so difficult? Because it plays on 3 soft targets. your politeness, your nostalgia, and your ego. Politeness whispers, be helpful. Nostalgia whispers, it used to be easy between us. Ego whispers, see, they still need you. All three feel warm. All three are bait. The moment you step back into the old pattern, you teach your nervous system that your standards are negotiable. Then you start negotiating everything: sleep, training, prayer, focus, peace. One quick favor becomes 3, then 5, then can we talk? The slope is slippery because it's greased with nice. Here's a metaphor you'll keep. You're the doorman of a private club called Peace. Entry requires 2 things: attire, accountability; reservation, specific plan. Boundary tests show up wearing convenience and carrying nostalgia. The line is the same. Not tonight. It's not a fight. It's a dress code. Or this one. Your attention is a fire extinguisher behind glass. Break only in emergency. Boundary tests knock on the glass with a feather and call it urgent. You protect the extinguisher so it's ready when a real fire comes. Your family, your health, your purpose. Questions running in their mind. Are you still soft for me? Will courtesy beat their boundary? Can I turn this tiny task into a longer thread? If I get them talking about a jacket, maybe we can talk about us. Questions you must ask yourself. Does this belong to me? Is there a cleaner channel, courier, mutual, customer support? What am I teaching my nervous system by saying yes? Will this open a hallway I just locked? Practical Stoic moves keep you free. Pre-decide your logistics policy in calm, not during a ping. Write it down if you have to. When a request comes, you're not inventing a boundary, you're following one. Use neutral language. No spikes, no snark, no soft edges that invite conversation. Item will be in a labeled bag on Saturday, 11 a.m., 12 p.m. If you can't make that, propose another window via text. I no longer manage that account. Please contact support. I'm not available for personal favors. Wishing you well. Notice how each answer is a period, not a comma. And if they press, you don't escalate, you repeat. Scripts save sanity. As mentioned above, as per my previous message, repeat the policy once, maybe twice. After that, silence is your enforcement. Seneca said, "He who is brave is free." Bravery here is resisting the urge to justify, explain, or apologize for protecting your life. Your boundary requires no PR campaign. A little fun check to keep you smiling. Watch how urgent their jacket becomes when your porch window is Saturday morning, and how quickly urgency fades when they realize they can't stretch a pickup into a coffee and a conversation. Urgency loves company. Boundaries love calendars. Now, what if the request is truly necessary? You handle it with surgical precision. Narrow window, clear terms, public setting if needed, no memory lane. You leave no conversational string to tug. Think transaction, not reconnection. If an apology or accountability appears inside a favor request, separate them. Logistics handled as above. If you have something else to discuss, write it plainly. I'm not available for calls. Honest people respect lanes. Performers hate them. Remember, you are not punishing. You are preserving. Your future needs the energy you used to spend on 2-minute favors that stole 2 days of focus. Every clean no is a yes to training, work, family, faith, and sleep. Every policy you keep is one brick in the road that leads you out of the old city for good. Stay with me. Next, we'll uncover the emotional leakage that follows failed tests. Anger one day, nostalgia the next, contradictions that reveal the truth beneath the mask, and how to stay steady when their weather keeps changing. For now, lock this in and type it in the comments so it sticks. My boundaries are policy. Show them by your clarity. Show yourself by your calm. show the world by your results. Number 7. Emotional leakage, anger, nostalgia, contradictions. What the mouth denies, the patterns confess. That's the giveaway when their calm costume starts to fray. After the micro-pings, the surge, and the boundary tests fail, the weather turns strange. One day they post fire, "I'm better without anyone." The next, they drift into soft rain. Old songs, simpler times, captions that sound like your last winter together. Then a cold snap, subtle digs, half-truths, lessons learned aimed at you without using your name. It looks inconsistent. It's actually one emotion wearing different masks. Regret. Picture a leaking faucet at 3 a.m. Drip anger, drip nostalgia, drip pride, drip doubt. Silence makes each drop louder. They're not ready to face the flood inside, so the pressure escapes in small public ways. Or imagine a mirror with fog patches. Some days they wipe a circle and admit, "I miss good people." Other days the steam thickens and they draw claws over your outline. That's cognitive dissonance, the story they sold the world colliding with the truth their mind can't outrun. Observation without ownership, feeling without responsibility. Your mind will want to play translator. Are they finally seeing it? Are they just hurt? Should I clarify so they stop twisting things? No, my friends. Marcus Aurelius reminds us, you have power over your mind, not outside events. Translation, guard your interior. Their weather is not your climate. Let their contradictions stay theirs. You don't need to rebuke a subtweet, correct a caption, or clap back at a reel. Reality does its own press release over time. Here's the hard truth that sets you free. Love speaks in ownership. Regret leaks in theater. Ownership says, I was wrong. I'm sorry. Here's the plan. Leakage says, I'm fine, and posts 3 times to prove it. Ownership accepts your boundary and learns in the quiet. Leakage pokes the glass and hides its hand. Your job isn't to fix their pressure. Your job is to stay a steady barometer, train, work, pray, sleep, repeat. That rhythm is your compass out of the maze. So end it clean. No cryptic messages, no late-night essays, no just to clear the air. Let calm be your headline. If they ever grow into ownership, you'll know by the weight of their words and the patience of their pace. Until then, keep your museum curated and your door guarded. If this section gave you strength, do 2 things right now. Type this in the comments, I choose calm clarity, and press like, subscribe, and share this with a friend who needs it. Stay with me. We build stronger, quieter, and freer together.